Hello friends, it's Kelly Pullum here, also known as Craft and Granny. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! In Canada, and tonight I'm bringing you a card using the stamp set Coffee with Friends. I'm a little late to the party with that stamp set as it's been in the online exclusives for some time, but I have a need of a card myself and the stamp set is relatively new to me. So we're going to make use of that tonight. I'm also going to demonstrate using some ink blending to create a background. This is a very useful technique because it can be used with all kinds of different stamp sets, and I think you're going to like that as well. Before we get started with the card making, I want to mention that I have a class coming up this Thursday in Sudbury in my home. So if you are interested in that, you need to contact me tonight so that I can prepare cards for tomorrow. The card class is $20 and we make 3 cards, and we always have a good time. So coming up in July, I have a crop scheduled in Brantford at Friendship House on July 13th. That is still open for registrations, and it's filling up fast though, so you do want to get a hold of me if you'd like to come and join us that day. We'll also be selling some retired product that day, so if you are in Brantford and would like to shop but you can't join us to make cards or scrapbook, you're welcome to stop in and do some shopping there. I'm not going to be booking classes over the summer. I've made a decision that what I will do is, if there are 2 or more people, I will book classes with 2 weeks notice. But you need to let me know when you'd like to have it, and we can book 2 weeks in advance, and then we can schedule a class that way. I've decided to go with that because with people traveling, I learned last summer that people are often away at camp, as they call it here in Sudbury. And so I'm not going to try and schedule classes and juggle around people's schedule or whatever. If people are interested in a class and there are 2 or more of you, you let me know and I will book one. Okay? So I think that is it for what's coming up in the summer. Oh, one other thing I did want to remember to mention tonight. So I have been doing my lives the 1st and 3rd Tuesday of the month. But in July, my daughter's birthday is July 2nd. She's turning 30. So I'm going to not do a live that night. Instead, I will go with the 9th and the 23rd. And it's just convenient for me that there are 5 Tuesdays in July, so that will work out just fine. I will do the 2nd and the 4th, and that's when you will see me live in July. Okay, now I am going to switch over to the desktop view here and pull in the materials I'm going to use tonight. Here we go. Hello, Nancy, and hello, Tracy. It's great to see you. All right. So I have here, this is the stamp set that we're using, and I admit that I bought this stamp set because I love coffee and because I loved the sentiments in it. So Coffee with a Friend is like happiness in a cup. I love that one. I'm going to use that tonight. Sometimes you just have to reheat your coffee one more time and try again. Love that too. And then there's Thinking of You, Let's Get Together Soon, or Thinking of You and Coffee Too. You've got this, some great sentiments of encouragement for friends. So I do love the sentiments for this. One of the reasons I didn't buy this right off the bat is I do have a lot of stamp sets with open images for coloring, and so sometimes I think you need to have a bit of a variety in what you've got. But these are easy images to color and I do love them, so that's what we're going to work with tonight. Now I'm going to show you kind of what is my inspiration for this card tonight. This is the card that I made for my husband for Father's Day. And I did the same ink blending technique to make the background here for his card. I used some retired products. I used On the Horizon, I think, and maybe that was it. Maybe it was just On the Horizon. For some reason, I think these two were from On the Horizon. I'm not sure whether that dye, the grass dye, was from that. But anyway, what I did is I created the inked background, in this case, directly on my cardstock layer, and then I ran the whole thing through the embossing folder. So for this card, you can see the embossing even in the ink blending that is there. Which way do I need to go here to get a better image? This way, I think. There we go. Yeah, I'll get it eventually. So I do love this technique. I love to see the ink blending background, or you can do a watercolor background as well, which might be fun to do another night. But I love it because it's just a versatile way to make a background. Is so easy, and then you end up with a beautiful focal point to add your stamping to. So for tonight's card, I'm switching it up a little bit. I decided to use, with the stamp set, I'm using the Stylish Shapes dies, and I'm using the largest stitched circle here. And I'm using the Sentiment die from the Cheerful Daisies dies. Okay, so I've pre-cut those materials. Oh, I got a couple of these here. And I pre-cut this circle out of my cardstock layer because this time I did not want my embossing to go onto my inked portion. So I cut that out in advance. That was the first thing. And then I ran this through the embossing folder with the Distressed Brick. And because it's white on white, I don't know how well it's going to show up here. Here. If I put that, does that help at all? Hard to show. There you can see a little bit, the Distressed Brick. Okay, so I am going to now set this aside. I have a card base that is the basic white thick. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have 2 pieces. I started with 2 pieces of basic white cardstock that were 4 by 5 1/4. As I said, I cut the largest circle from the Stylish Shapes dies out. We'll set that aside. This is going to go on the front. Then I've got a piece I also cut out for the inside that's 4 by 5 1/4. So that is going to go inside my card because I am going to stamp something and color with some Stampin' Blends. And when you do that, the ink goes through the cardstock. So you need to have another layer. And then I've got this for my sentiment. Okay? Alrighty. So I'm going to start off here by doing the blending. I'm using 2 colors for my blending. I'm using Balmy Blue and Crumb Cake. I'm using the large blending brushes here. And you can see my blending brushes are pretty icky. I try to keep sort of to a color family, but the truth is that once they're dried, nothing is going to come out there. So it doesn't matter terribly. They're just not as attractive as when you first get them. Okay, so I'm going to start off here with the Balmy Blue. Get some ink there. I'm going to come in from the side. One of the interesting things about this is it doesn't show up terribly at first. You need to be patient with it. You also do not want to press hard. If you press hard, you're going to get a big blob of ink and it's not going to blend around well. So you really want to go lightly and more times rather than go, once and press hard. So it is important to just kind of be patient, build that color a little at a time as you go. I don't mind if I get a little more color in one spot than another because the sky doesn't necessarily look all the same shade of blue. You might get some variations in color, and that's okay. Okay, I'm going to just set this aside for a moment. Come in with the crumb cake. And I'm not worrying. I don't need a line. I'm just going to blend right up and into that other area. If you wanted to create a nice solid horizon line, you could do that with some Post-it tape or a Post-it note or Stampin' Up's masking paper. I've even seen people use painter's tape, all kinds of options for that. So I think that's enough crumb cake. I'm going to come back with a little more Balmy Blue over there, particularly down near this lower spot. There we go. And then we're almost getting a little bit of a green down there. Good. Okay. So then when I'm done, I can just brush my brush on the mat. When I'm getting no more color out, I know that's good. All right. Now the next thing I'm going to do with this is I'm going to add my stamped image over the top. So I've got my image here. I'm using Memento ink. I'm going to ink this up really well. I'm going to try once on my paper just to make sure I'm getting a nice solid image. Looks pretty good. Let's ink it up again. I always give a little extra pressure in the middle because that's the part of the stamp that often is hardest to get a good impression. Don't need any dog fur on here. All right, so now I'm going to try and line this up, and I want the ladies' heads to be pretty much near the top of the circle here. And that is wonderful. So the next step here is going to be to do the coloring. So actually, before I do that, I think I might as well stamp my sentiment, which I've got here. This is "The coffee with a friend is like happiness in a cup." That's going to go on here. Oh, I didn't get it terribly straight. Let's try this one. It's got a little smudge in the corner though. I don't know if I can get that to come off. Hopefully. Second try. You know what? I think they're both pretty much the same. I might as well go with the first one. All right. Now. Oh, one more stamping. Here we go. I forgot my coffee cups to go on the inside here. This is just going to go down in the corner. There. Okay. Now, the neat thing about this is when I want to color here, I can color right over top of this ink blending and it's not going to matter. I'm just pulling up my blends here. It'll you know, it will show a little bit, I suppose, that I've used the blends on top, but it's not critical, so it's okay. So I'm going to start with, oh, that's gray granite. I think I struggled whether this bench should be gray granite or crumb cake, but I'm going to go with the crumb cake because I used the crumb cake ink on the front, and so I think that will be a little more consistent. So I'm going to color here the bench. Did I do with light or dark before? No, I did it with light. I did have a sample, but I didn't do it exactly the way this one is. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to color the little coffee cup mats there. Alrighty, then what did I do here? I think I did shoes here with the dark crumb cake. Then I did some bronze for the one gal's hair. So think about what stamp sets you have that you might be able to use this technique and stamp over an inked background to create a card. Okay? There are lots and lots of stamp sets that could be used. Let's see, I think I might try, I don't know what to use. I think I'm going to go light again with the light crumb cake for the croissants here. Because I think if I do them with the brown, it would be too brown. Although they could use maybe a little yellow mixed in there. Maybe I'll make the coffee a darker brown. Trying to work around the decorations on top here. There we go. This will do for the spoon. Okay. Now I need some brighter colors here. Okay, so I went with Daffodil Light for this gal's hair. And you might have worried with the blue that it would look green, but I think it's still okay. It still looks yellow to me. And then I'm going to go with the dark for her top. There we go. And we'll do, what have we got here? Well, this one is red. Maybe I will go with red just to be, why not? Okay. We need some blue for the jeans. So I think I went, this is Azure Afternoon. That's the light shade. Need that little Poppy Parade again for a moment. Just a little dot there. Okay, and then I think the other one I did, can't remember if I did Night of Navy. I think I did lighter. I think I did Misty Moonlight. There we are. I think I did light Misty Moonlight for these jeans. Okay, and because I want to bring some brightness to the inside of the card, I think I'm going to do 1 cup here with the Azure Afternoon. And maybe 1 with the yellow, that Daffodil Delight. Just to make that nice and bright. Okay, let's put these away. So I have a little more room to work. So this is going to go on the inside of the card. Yes, it does fit well there, Tracy. And I admit I have had my granddaughter playing with this, and now my tape is not exactly working right. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it to, oh, it's coming. It's all mucked up, but it's still coming out. So I'm going to just go with it until I can no longer get it to come out. There we go. What a mess. No, definitely not on there the right way. I do not know what happened here. Oh well, I think that will do. That will go on the inside. With a nice bit of room for writing. Just going to burnish this a bit more. I'm going to put this on the front, and I'm going to pop that up there with dimensionals, and I'm going to put this inside down flat. So first we'll take our dimensionals. Oh, before I do that, I want to remember I wanted to put some ribbon on here. So I've got some white ribbon that I'm going to put across. I chose to go all white because originally what I wanted here was I wanted the new Petunia Pop, but I did not have the marker. So I'm going to have to get that on my list because I love this ribbon. It would have been great across here and made a lovely pop of color, but alas, it did not match the markers I had. So I had to go with Plan B. So we're going to just take this, bring it to the back. You can use glue dots, but since I happen to have my tape right here, sitting on my table holding my Archon stand in place, this is super quick and easy to use some Scotch tape. I'm going to just see that I get this lined up pretty well. Okay, so now I can put my dimensionals on here. I'll put that there, one here in the middle. Let's try this little guy right here at the top. Got another one for here. Let's just cut this in half. We'll put half there. And half there. Okay, I think that should do it. Okay, so this is going to be centered over here. Now my trick for trying to center things is if I can get kind of 3 corners in my vision and see that they are pretty even, then I can put it down. So it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So if you can see 3 corners, that's going to help you to get that perfect. Now this part I'm going to do with liquid glue because then I can slide it a little bit into place so that it's right where I want it. Because we want it to sit nicely in there. We've got that stitching showing and everything. So here we are. Then this is going to just go up over top of my ribbon. Now, because I've already used dimensionals, I don't really want to have dimensionals again. So I'm going to use some glue dots, I think, for this. to help, because glue dots just seem to work well with ribbon. So I'm going to put one actually underneath to help hold that down firmly in place. And I'm going to put, I think, 3 across the middle here on the back. There we go. All right, I should have brought some bling over here. This card is calling for some bling. One moment. Let's see what might work. You know, I might go with the basic rhinestones because I am a huge fan. Oh, I did not use, this would have been good if I had that other ribbon because I could have used the in color dots, but I don't have that other, or sorry, the other marker. Got lots of those, but I don't think they're quite the thing. Yep. Oh, what about those? No, I think I'm going with my old basic rhinestones, which I use all the time. Let me tell you, if you can only buy one kind of bling, this is it. So I think we'll go, let's see. Let's just pull that down a touch if I can. Think maybe one here. And one. Let's move this one a little further back. Like so. I don't know. I think that's it. So, there we go. So, coffee with a friend is like happiness in a cup. And then the little image inside. So, I think that is lots of fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the card tonight. I hope you will try some of this ink blending. It is lots of fun. The blending brushes are wonderful to use. Be patient. Don't try to go too fast, and it will work out beautifully. And so that's great. Thanks for joining me tonight, and I hope to see you in, it's going to be 3 weeks because I will not be doing the first week in July, I think. I think that is right. Okay, so take care, friends, and I will see you again soon. Bye now.